Okay, so Altair has been in business since 1985. So it was founded in a place called Troy in Michigan in the US by three technocrats who came out of the big three, which is Ford, GM, and Chrysler, and started Altair. So we started off as a consulting company. We have graduated into being one of the leading technology companies in the space of simulation, data analytics, high performance computing. So the mantra for success for Altair, if I have to specifically answer that question, I think we are very successful in attracting and retaining some of the best talent. So the foundation for Altair's talent attraction and retention is the value systems and the culture that we bring into the organization. We have a very strong core value systems which are inculcated by our employees. The direction, of course, is set by the chairman and the founder of the company himself, Jim Scapa. And it's a very open culture. So, I mean, people can go and talk to anyone. There are no hierarchies. It's a very flat organization, and people are allowed to experiment, on their own and fail if required, and not be afraid of failure. So that's on the HR side, where we inculcate very strong values and open culture for people to thrive and prosper, and also take the organization forward. So that's from an HR perspective. From the technology perspective, as I said, we started off with being a consulting company. Then initially our offerings were in the area of mechanical simulation, mostly around modeling, visualization, optimization. Then we started acquiring a lot of technologies, and over the last 10 years or so, we have acquired about 25 to 30 different companies, mostly technology companies, and integrated them all into our product offering. So today, if you see, our offering spans many areas in terms of technology. We started off, as I said, with structural. Then we moved into computational fluid dynamics, electromagnetics, network planning, communication, machine learning, data analytics, computer vision, in many areas. And we offer all of this under a single product umbrella and a very unique licensing concept, which is patented, called Altair Units. So where customer does not have to pay for each of these technologies separately. He just buys a bunch of units, hosts them on the server, and he can access various products from the units pool. So it brings in very strong value for the customer. So that's been our mantra for success on the technology side, and the way we engage with customers. And also the sense of customer centricity is very high within Altair. So every employee is focused towards solving customer problems, be it people from the development organization, the application engineers, the sales people, or even the supporting staff like HR, admin. Everybody is very, very focused towards solving customers' problems. So these are some of the things that has helped us grow and reach the stage where we are today. So if you look at digital transformation, we have been doing digital transformation from the day we started the company, because we as a company, our focus has been on enabling our customers to innovate with our technology. So it was initially with simulation. Simulation is essentially you're trying to eliminate physical prototyping and physical validation, with numerical computations to solve various types of physics related problems, which is nothing but digital technologies being used to either innovate, develop products, or resolve a problem in a particular product, or come up with a new concept. So all of these are being done with digital technologies for many years, which is basically in the space of simulation. Okay, and what has happened recently is we saw the convergence between simulation and data analytics. Simulation, as generates tremendous amount of data. It's computationally highly intensive. It generates terabytes and terabytes of data, and there's a lot of historical data that companies have accumulated over a period of time. So Altair saw the opportunity to use data analytics and machine learning on top of the historical accumulated data that all our customers have today, to drive design very early in the conceptual stage. So with that motive and intention, and also to address to many other types of problem solving in the manufacturing space, we made a significant investment and acquired a company called DataWatch back in 2018, just 2 years ago. DataWatch was actually a Nasdaq listed publicly traded company. And with DataWatch coming on board, we now have a lot of capabilities in the area of machine learning, data analytics, complex event processing, remote monitoring, and many other areas. So all of these kind of converge with our simulation offerings and high performance computing offerings to solve some real-time, high-end, real complicated problems, as well as develop products for the future. Okay, so one is of course use of data analytics, machine learning, coupled with our simulation tools and our math and system tools in product development itself. So as I mentioned, product development and simulation generates tremendous amount of data, and that data has a lot of potential stored in it, which is kind of being untapped today. So you can look at gathering information from the field. For example, if your vehicles are running on the road or you have an asset which is located at a remote location, you can sensorize them and collect a lot of that data and use that data to get a lot of insights about how a consumer or a customer is using your product. And that kind of goes back and becomes a feedback to your product development process, where our tools, simulation tools, are extensively used. So we are looking at clubbing all of these together, basically our machine learning, data analytics, data acquisition tools, data processing, data cleansing tools, along with our simulation tools to create what we call as a digital twin, which is kind of a replica of what is actually operating on the field, and they are kind of tied to each other. And if one changes, the other one changes as well. So you get a lot of insights, and you can make a lot of product improvements by using the data that is being generated by these machines which are running on the field. That's one part of the story. Second part of the story is that's from a product development perspective. On the other side, we are looking at improving product quality, reducing warranty claims, improving manufacturing efficiency, improving your operational efficiency in areas like financial operations, procurement, and many other business aspects of an organization. So those are the new opportunities that are brought to the table. Of course, we are expanding our footprint in terms of the industries that we address beyond manufacturing today with data analytics offerings. So we have a very strong presence in the financial markets, like some of the leading banks across the country, multinational banks, financial institutions, insurance companies. So we have gone beyond manufacturing with our data analytics offering. So we have very strong set of offerings into the manufacturing vertical. At the same time, we are also expanding our footprint to many other industries outside of manufacturing with our data analytics. Yeah, absolutely. So Altair is the leader when it comes to automotive, simulation and related areas. So pretty much every single automotive company in the world today uses Altair technology in a way or the other. Okay. So with the changes that are happening, I mean, these changes have been happening over the last decade and a half, and we have been gearing up to address many of those. So if you talk about electrification, which we see is something which is going to happen at a rapid pace, maybe over the next, 10 to 15 years, probably 20-25% of the cars on the road in India could be electric. With government push and support, it could be electric. So obviously we are gearing up. We have already geared up, and we are working very closely with many electric vehicle companies across the world and also in India, helping them realize their product goals. So if I have to list, there are many areas, but I will probably not go into everything and just talk about a few. One is helping them develop the complete electrical, drivetrain, which includes the motor controller, the transmission, and everything else. So we have a technology called Flux, which is very powerful when it comes to designing a motor for a rated torque or a rated performance curve, at a conceptual level, and also going into doing a detailed simulation, understanding the effects of a motor on the overall performance of the vehicle in terms of the cabin comfort, in terms of the noise, in terms of the durability, reliability of the vehicle, and everything else. That's from a drivetrain standpoint. The other important aspect when it comes to an electric vehicle is how do you lightweight the vehicle. So if it is heavy, obviously it's going to take away a lot of the energy from the battery. So how do you make sure the vehicle is optimally designed, and how do you get the lightest possible design so that you can improve the the energy efficiency of a vehicle and increase its range as much as possible. So we have some very industry leading technologies like OptiStruct and Inspire, which helps create a minimum weight design for your body structure and for the new packaging that is required for an electric vehicle. If you look at the electric vehicle, the packaging is very different from that of an ICE vehicle, right? So it helps you come up with a new concept and a new design, which is minimal in weight, so that you can improve the efficiency of the vehicle. That's the second area. The third area is the whole thing with respect to the connected vehicles, where a lot of communication aspects comes into picture. Be it designing and placement of various types of antennas, radars in a vehicle, so that they effectively communicate with other vehicles and also with the environment, and also helps in terms of safety, in terms of detecting collisions, avoiding collisions, and many other areas. And that's the technology offering when it comes to connected vehicles. We also help in planning your network and the communication infrastructure, because the car is not by itself. It has to communicate with an infrastructure. It also has to communicate with another car or another vehicle, or a traffic management system, or whatever it may be. So we provide technologies like a WinProp, RAP, for network planning and communication. It also helps in coming up with devices which are used in 5G communication. So that's from a connected vehicle standpoint. Shared mobility, yeah, I mean, is something that right now has taken a backstage because of given the pandemic and the given health situation around the world. But we have to see how shared mobility kind of comes back into the industry. But right now, I would say for the next 2 to 3 years, everyone is taking kind of a back step on shared mobility, and everyone wants a personalized vehicle for themselves. So that's what we have been doing. And of course, all our technologies come together, whether it's math and systems modeling tool, our data analytics, machine learning tools, everything else brings in a lot of innovation and creativity in delivering all that is required from an electric vehicle.